Hey everybody, welcome back. How will I do in a time trial on Zwift? Well, you're about to find out. Right after this, you will see my time trial race on Zwift. It was a 4K individual time trial put on by the Zwift Time Trial Club. They've got a 5-week series here through basically December, each week with a longer and longer distance. So this week was the first week. It was a 4K time trial. You have the ability to run it multiple times per week. I did this on Tuesday and did pretty good. And then I just did one a little while ago, but right before I started the race, the camera went out. Apparently it was updating the webcam software right when I needed it to record, so it went out. But you got the audio, so enjoy my 8 minutes minus a few seconds of pain and suffering as I accomplish a 4K time trial. Definitely does not qualify as zone 2. This is definitely zone 5 workout. So go ahead and enjoy the race and talk about it afterwards. Okay, here I am in the start pen for the time trial. Zwift kind of sets it up neat. You start off on individual time trials 30 seconds apart. So you'll see me sitting here and kind of spinning away. You can do a warm-up in one of the other worlds or on one of the other routes, and then if you're registered for the event, you can just click a button, a few minutes ahead of time, and it'll place you in your start pen. And so time trials start every 30 seconds between people, and then the goal is obviously hopefully not to have the person that starts behind you catch you. Spoiler alert, you'll see that, but here we are. Last couple seconds, it shoots you out and kind of gets you going to about 20 kilometers per hour, and then you have to start pedaling. So just starting here. Most of the races have a real short lead in. This one I think is, you see here maybe 100 meters or so before the timing starts, and then we're off. Okay, there's a short lead in before the clock starts, and right after the start gate here, there's a little bit of a hill initially. So it hurts a little bit right out of the beginning. You can see my power is started off pretty good, and I'm trying to settle into a rhythm here and hopefully carry through the rest of the race. But a nice little hill at the beginning. A little hill here, and another one at about 3.5K. So I'd get over this little hill, then we come into a slight downhill. You see my heart rate is now about 153, 154 at this point. Watts, 250, 260. Trying to get consistent, but my legs are already feeling it at this point. Whereas on Tuesday, when I did this exact same route, they were still feeling pretty good. So I was starting to wonder, what, how am I going to do? But tried not to think about that, and just kind of maintain the watts power somewhere, 250 to 260, which is what I did on Tuesday. So that's amazing, the accuracy that Zwift translates to the smart trainer. Any little rise, decrease, or increase is pretty much immediately felt. And right here, that little graph in the upper right kind of shows what the profile is. And right now it's on a 0, so essentially flat. But you can see my power is pretty good here, about 270, 273. That's what I was hoping I'd be able to maybe top out as, and hopefully average about 260 overall. So you hear that little click, that's me shifting gears. Big chain ring, small chain ring is when that usually noise will come through. So trying to find the right gear and cadence here. Another hill.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed about this hill kicking in here. I'd kind of forgotten about this hill, but doesn't look too big on the screen. But once again, from a resistance standpoint on the trainer, you certainly feel it. And at this point, we're about 2 minutes and 51.5 kilometers in. I'm really starting to feel it in my legs, where I didn't quite feel as tired on Tuesday as I was at this point right now. So definitely starting to hurt a bit here.
Here's the big hill, middle of the course.
And this is the big hill for this course, is right at about 2K. You go up about 30 meters or something like that. And you'll see in the the grade on the upper right, 3%, 4%. I'm really trying to keep my cadence somewhere around 100 and then equate to that watts being around somewhere around 250. But here we are at a 5% grade. Definitely is stinging at this point. My heart rate is pretty consistent, 155, 156. On the previous attempt on Tuesday, I was able to get my heart rate a little higher than this, but today, just not quite there. And here we are, 6% grade as the steepest part of this hill, and then it levels off a little bit. There's the Zwift version of Mount Fuji there in the background, but really challenging here. I'm looking at you see, it just clicked over to 2K in the overhead monitor there. About 420 in, heart rate about 155, getting near the top of the hill. Yep, there we go. A little tired. I was a little frustrated with myself here because I noticed the power isn't near what I wanted it to do. Now, if you take a look over on the far right, number 1, that little listing, you see a guy below that says T. Watkins. You're going to see him pass me in a little bit. And that's the guy that started 30 seconds behind me. And he's on a power output, he's putting out almost 2.5 to 3 watts per kilogram, more than me, and you can see him powering away. So anytime you get passed by the person that starts behind you, can be a little demoralizing, even in a cartoon. Okay, so we're going downhill here. You can see the grades of -5, 6%, picking up the pace, 45, 46 kilometers per hour, about 2.5 Ks in at this point. Somebody gave me a ride on. I don't know who that was during the race, but it's always nice to see some people encouraging you, I guess, even if it is virtual. So we kind of get back onto the pavement here. 260 watts. I'm doing pretty good here power-wise, kind of in that 95 to 100 RPMs. And everybody's going to be different, their range of RPMs versus power. There's another gear change. Coming right on 3K here, which should be just about 1K to go when I get to the 3K spot.
1K to go.
As I just realized there. So it's flat here, then there's a little bit of a bump from about 3.3 to 3.5 or 3.6K, and then the last 300 to 400 meters is flat to mostly flat. I don't think there's much of a downhill here, so I'm just trying to push through, generate as much power as possible, and it's not coming as easy as it did on Tuesday, so it is what it is at this point. Yep.
500 meters.
Down to the last 500 meters or so. Coming up this last little bump.
Hill here. When this finished.
Yep. So coming up this last little bump here. That little cartoon trailer you see up there is essentially the top of this last little rise. It's about a 4% grade, so you feel it. The trainer does its job of increasing the resistance. 3, 2, 1. Now we're back down to 0. Slightly downhill. I need to do a better job of increasing the power downhill, but I was tired, so it's kind of a battle between the physical and the mental part. Okay, coming down to the last couple hundred meters here. I'm 315, 320 watts, 300, and I'm kind of running out of gas here. Down to the last little bit. That green banner is the finish, and I kind of go through to about 250 watts. So done.
All right. I'm done. Well,
okay, you can see my result there, 752.5. My result on Tuesday was 735.7. So was that 17 seconds slower? After getting done, average watts here were 235. Tuesday's was 256. So that was a difference, and I pretty much knew it as soon as I started the race tonight. But regardless, that is what it is. Racing is racing, I guess, and sometimes you do better, and sometimes you don't do quite as good. But it was still a fantastic workout. So if any of you are on Zwift, I would recommend you trying out some of the races, time trials or criteriums or whatever, and give it a shot and see how you do and how you enjoy it. So this is where I kind of go back to Watopia and kind of stop this ride and then go back and do a cool down.
okay. Well, there you go. That was the 4K time trial. I think it was called Neck Isle in McCurry Islands. Nice little loop. Very painful. 7 minutes and 53 seconds or whatever I did there. I was happy with the effort, but I was a little disappointed in the result. I was hoping to be about what I did on Tuesday. Same course, same time of day, actually. I did 7:35. So who knows? I don't know what changed, but the good thing is they take the best result out of as many efforts as you do on the individual week. So Tuesday's time will count in the overall standings if I complete all 5 events. So anyway, what did I learn from that time trial? Well, one, doing that zone 5 over threshold heart rate, which for me is anything about 155 or so, that hurts, and you have to be used to doing it. I haven't really done much of that, especially on the bike this year. So that's a good way for me to start building the ability to operate at a higher level of effort, which that definitely is. That's the one thing that time trials are great for. It's a great test of just you against the clock. They call it the race of truth. And you can see my avatar here. I spent some of those virtual drops and got myself that sweet Specialized S-Works Shiv disc bike with some speedy, what is that, Zip 808 disc wheels. So for the level I'm at Zwift, level 19 or 18, that's the best time trial bike and wheels I can get at this level. So helps a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's still what you can pump out on your legs and heart. So that's pretty good. I hope you enjoyed that. I may record any future time trials I do. I don't know if I'm going to do the rest of this series or not. We shall see. But I will record an FTP test. I plan on doing that at some point in the next month or so. So stay tuned for that. That's a really good way to see what kind of power you can sustain on a extended basis. So it's about time for me to do that on Zwift to see where I'm at. It's a fun little test. Well, it hurts, but it's fun. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave comment, ask them in the comments below. Love to interact with all of you. Like I said at the end of the race recording, we've got a lot of new subscribers, so the more we can bring in, the better. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, click the bell for notifications, and give us a mega thumbs up. The more the merrier. It's a great way to bring people into the channel. I'm going to finish my cool down here. I'm probably going to ride another 15-20 minutes or so. Just make sure I get everything cooled down and flushed out so I can sleep well tonight. And we will see you in the next one. Until then, be well.